Picture this, okay? A brilliant tech executive, a literal genius who sold multiple companies in his 20s, takes his buddies out on a boat into the Pacific Ocean. Why? Well, so they can skip $1,000 gold coins into the sea like rocks, just for fun. Now, contrast that guy with Ronald Reed. Ronald was a humble janitor who swept floors his entire life. When that tech genius eventually went completely, devastatingly broke, Ronald Reed passed away, leaving behind a staggering multi-million-dollar fortune. It is honestly one of the wildest, most explosive paradoxes of our modern world. How does a certified genius lose everything, while a janitor with zero formal financial education builds an absolute empire? I mean, you never see a janitor stepping in and performing a heart transplant better than a Harvard surgeon, right? But in finance, it happens all the time. Because financial success, as it turns out, is not a hard mathematical science. It's a soft behavioral skill. Think about it. On one side, you have this absurd comical arrogance, and on the other, quiet absolute humility. Ronald Reed hid every single penny of his wealth. Literally no one even knew he was rich until after he died. Meanwhile, the tech executive weaponized his money for status, and he lost it all. Which triggers a massive, glaring question. If managing money isn't about how smart you are, what is it actually about? In this explainer, we're doing a deep dive into the psychology of wealth, heavily inspired by Morgan Housel's incredible book, The Psychology of Money. We are going to unpack the invisible forces, fear, greed, comparison, ego, that dictate whether you actually achieve financial freedom or face total ruin. We're taught to think of money as just numbers, right? Equations and spreadsheets. But the true nature of money is the messy dance between that cold arithmetic and human nature. Real financial decisions aren't made on a calculator. They're made around dinner tables, fueled by pride, fear, and personal history. And at those dinner tables, a fundamental truth always emerges. People do some crazy things with money, but no one is actually crazy. Look, we all come from different generations. We're raised by parents with different incomes, born into totally different economies. If you were born in 1970, the stock market exploded tenfold during your youth, making you incredibly optimistic. Born in 1950, it went absolutely nowhere, making you naturally cautious. We all have this unique financial DNA. Every decision a person makes checks the boxes they feel they need to check in that exact moment. So what looks completely insane to you might make perfect sense to them. Which brings us to the fatal flaw that destroys the wealth of so many young, ambitious people, the hedonic treadmill. It's what happens when your expectations rise faster than your results. If you tie your ego to your income, striving for more is just a trap. You're gonna feel exactly the same after putting in all that extra effort. Honestly, getting the goalpost to stop moving is the hardest financial skill in the world. When the taste of having more money increases your ambition way faster than your satisfaction, you end up risking what you have and need for what you don't have and really don't need. And social comparison is exactly why we keep pushing that goalpost further away. Welcome to the man in the car paradox. Think about the last time you saw a $100,000 Ferrari roll by. You rarely think, wow, the guy driving that is so cool. Instead, you think, man, if I had that car, people would think I'm cool. Do you see the irony there? No one is impressed with your possessions as much as you are. Spending money just to show people how much money you have is literally the fastest way to have less money. And here is where the game flips entirely on its head. Getting money and keeping money, they are two completely different skills. Getting wealthy requires taking massive risks, being optimistic, putting yourself out there. But staying wealthy, that requires the exact opposite. It requires a really healthy dose of paranoia. It requires frugality. And most importantly, it requires the humility to accept that at least some of your past success was just luck, and it can be taken away just as fast. To really grasp this, look at the legendary trader Jesse Livermore. By age 30, he was worth the inflation-adjusted equivalent of $100 million. During the devastating 1929 market crash, while literally everyone else was losing their shirts, he shorted the market and made an absolute fortune in a single week. He was on top of the world. But that success bred overconfidence. He kept taking larger and larger risks, he completely lost his fear, and eventually, he lost every single penny. His life ended in total tragedy. Survival, not just growth, is what truly matters here. So if aggressive risk-taking isn't the key to lasting success, what is? What's the invisible engine behind massive, multi-generational wealth? You probably think it's picking the perfect stock at the perfect time or having a genius-level IQ. But the truth is totally counterintuitive. It relies on a mathematical reality that our human brains, frankly, really struggle to comprehend. Okay, brace yourself for this. $81.5 billion. Out of Warren Buffett's $84.5 billion net worth, a staggering $81.5 billion of it came after his mid-60s. Just let that sink in for a second. Buffett is undeniably a great investor, for sure. But his secret isn't just high returns. His true, undeniable genius is his longevity. He started investing seriously when he was 10 years old. 10! And he never interrupted the compounding process. If he had acted like a normal young person, spent his cash on cars and traveling in his 20s, and just retired at 60, his net worth wouldn't be $84 billion. It would be closer to $11.9 million. That is 99.9% less. That is compounding. The highest returns in the world don't matter at all if you can't survive in the game long enough for that compounding to actually do its magic. This basically forces us to rewire everything we think we know. Wealth is what you don't see. It's not the Rolex, it's not the Ferrari, it's not the fancy Instagram vacation. Those are just examples of money being spent. True wealth is the unspent options. It's that quiet, invisible financial flexibility sitting right below the ego. Ronald Reed, the janitor, he was truly wealthy precisely because his money wasn't converted into visible status symbols. So, we've exposed the psychological traps, the ego, the comparison, the disastrous, ruinous risks. Now it's time to build a real, actionable blueprint for financial survival. How do we actually apply this to our lives today so we don't end up crashing and burning like that tech executive? Step one is you have to escape the trap of social comparison. Stop moving the goalpost. You have to find your enough. Look, modern capitalism is a pro at generating wealth, but it is equally good at generating envy. If you don't actively lower your ego and define what enough looks like for you, you're gonna end up exactly like those ultra-wealthy hedge fund managers who had hundreds of millions of dollars, but risked it all and lost it all just to get a little bit more. Remember, happiness is just results minus expectations. Next up, we have to talk about the future you. The brilliant psychologist Daniel Kahneman famously said, "I have no sunk costs." As a young person, you are going to change. The 5-year-old who wanted to drive a tractor becomes a teenager who wants to be a lawyer, who eventually becomes an adult realizing they just want to stay home with their kids. You absolutely must avoid extreme financial plans because your desires are going to evolve. Don't be a prisoner to the decisions made by your past self. If a plan no longer serves you, abandon it without mercy. And then there's the absolute baseline foundational habit of all: save. Just save. You don't even need to be saving for a car or a house or a specific trip. You should save simply as a hedge against life's inevitable ability to surprise the hell out of you at the absolute worst possible moment. Increasing your savings rate isn't really about raising your income, it's about raising your humility and suppressing your ego today so you have way more options tomorrow. Now, when you do put that saved money to work in the market, you have to understand the admission fee. Everything has a price, but not all prices appear on labels. The price of successful investing is not dollars and cents. It's volatility, it's fear, it's doubt, uncertainty, and regret. You have to view market downturns not as a fine or a penalty because you did something wrong, but as the unavoidable fee you pay to get a long-term reward. Because once you accept the fee, the panic finally stops. Which all leads us to the ultimate realization. If wealth is what you don't see and compounding requires time, then what are we actually doing all this for? It really boils down to the difference between working to buy things and working to control your time. Waking up and doing what you want, when you want, with who you want, for as long as you want, that is the absolute ultimate financial goal. Controlling your time is the highest dividend money pays. Let's be real, your kids don't want your money anywhere near as much as they just want you. Your truest happiness isn't gonna come from sitting in a luxury car. It comes from waking up in the morning and saying, I can do literally whatever I want today. That level of independence, that is the ultimate mastery of the psychology of money. So, I'm gonna leave you with this final thought to chew on. Identify the game you are actually playing right now. Are you playing a game of status, trying to impress strangers? Or are you playing the game of freedom, building invisible wealth so you can control your own time? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to keep rewriting your financial worldview with us. Until next time, figure out your enough and go take control of your time.